It's Freestyle Friday!
Coming in hot with quick shots of inspiration on a variety of topics. I've been wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet to go over everything.
Oh
okay.
Man, we're weird or fun? I'm not sure.
No, we are fully fun. Okay, so today's topic we decided about 3 seconds ago is on.
See, you always have to be like touching me. It's so cute. Like she's really coming in on my space here.
Well, I want
to
be close to you.
Yeah, like the cute. I just want to touch you. Yeah. All right. Anyways,
today's topic is on you can either have results or excuses, but
you can't have both.
You cannot have both. So this was inspired by an incident that happened yesterday. So I don't let drama into my life. Like when it comes in, I have a moment and then I push it away. I used to like dwell in it forever, but I just have to share this example. So, you know, when someone tells you that they want something like, oh, I want this, or I'm working towards this or whatever, and they confide in you or they're sharing like ideas or whatever, and then you see how they live or their actions and you're like, yo, I'm not judging you, but you just told me that you want XYZ, but your actions are not in alignment. And then it's just like excuses, and you literally can't have excuses and have results. So I have someone in my life that I love very much that it kind of like triggered this, I guess, where I've had multiple conversations with this person about things that they are looking to build, things that they want to do in their life. And there's been lots of ups and downs, and we all have ups and downs. But I just noticed this like reoccurring theme of like saying that she wants something, and then her actions are completely opposite. And I'm just like, wait, are we on the same page here? Like, you said you wanted this, but like it's kind of coming down to that question of like, is what you're doing right now getting you towards what you're wanting to create? So I wanted to roll this into an episode and just kind of like chat about you can't be in activity and doing all the things to get you towards where you want to go while having the excuses, while playing the victim, while doing this, while doing that. So I just want to have a conversation about it. Yeah.
I love that. I love that you can't have both, right? You can have excuses or wait, what was it again?
Results or excuses?
Results or excuses. And you realize like winners win. What they do, they know what they want and they go out and they make it happen no matter what. And they don't know exactly how long it'll take or anything or the timeline or the how, but they're like, this is happening. I'm going to make this happen. And we all have excuses. It's easy to get into that mindset. It's easy to blame things outside of us. But when we take 100% responsibility, and what it's really about is being in integrity with ourselves. If I declare I am going for something, I want something, and if I declare it to myself, let alone if I declare it to other people, if I tell other people like, hey, this is what I'm doing, like being in integrity with yourself and your word is everything. Like, so going for the results, whatever that is, like when you say you're going to do something, do it.
Yes.
Like do it.
And I think it's so crucial to surround yourself with people that will like call you out. So like in this particular instance with this friend of mine, like this isn't the first time. And she has told me before, like, Sandy, when I'm like out of alignment, like when you see me going off track, like I want you to call me out. And I'm like, okay, I will. So yesterday I did. And I literally picked up the phone and called her and was like, this isn't going to feel good and this is coming from love, but I have to call you out. Like, you say that you want this, you say that you want that, you're dropping the ball left and right, you're burning bridges, you're hurting people's feelings, you're dismissing people, it's rude, it's completely opposite of what you're saying, like that you want to create and who you are and how you show up. And I have to call you out because honestly, if I didn't care about you, I wouldn't do this. But if I was showing up how you're showing up, I'd want to be called out. And it definitely hurt her feelings. And I felt bad about that. But I told her, I'm like, my intention is not to hurt your feelings. My intention is to help give you the results that you want. You're complaining about money. You're complaining about your work situation. You're complaining about your finances. You're complaining about this and that, sobbing, saying, I haven't been in this type of a situation, since I was 25 years old. It's been 10 years since I've been in this type of situation. And it's like, okay, I completely understand that and I want to help you. And I just want to call out that if you're saying that you want this, but you're doing this, you're going to stay exactly where you are. And I know that really, really hurts. And we've all been there. We've all been in places where we're like, shit, I'm not in a good spot. How did I get to this place? And we get where we are because of the choices that we've made. So it's like the past is leading up to the moment that you're in right now. So if you're happy with where you are, round of applause, like you did that. If you're not happy, it's okay. You can change that. But we have to take 100% responsibility for where we're at. And we got to get out of victim mode and we got to get out of excuses mode. Like so freaking over excuses. Like let's start producing results at the same capacity that we produce excuses and the world will change.
I'm running through my head. Is there a legitimate excuse out there for you not to go after what you want or what you said or what you declare you're doing? Like, is there even one? It literally might be death of yourself. Like that's it. Like we say it over and over. The only way to fail is to quit. If you just keep going, life happens to all of us. The hangnail you got last week, that happens to all of us. Or whatever happens, or your health, or your family's health, or certain circumstances. Like all these things happen to everyone in different ways, in different times of their life, in different circumstances. I don't think there is a legitimate excuse out there. If you truly want something, like that's what it's all about. I think about it. I was listening to one of my mentors yesterday, Eric Thomas. He's like the number one motivational speaker in the world. He brings the heat. And his wife a couple years ago got diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis, which could break a family, right? And she was like, okay, she got the diagnosis. She's in the hospital. The doctor told her, she's like, all right, well, when can I go back to work? And he's like, oh no, you got to take time off. And she was more upset about not being able to go to work because that she was just blue collar, hard worker. And she had young kids growing up in high school age watching her work ethic. And she had a daughter who was watching her. And she was more upset about, wait a second, like my kids are just going to see me home, not working, like in her mind being quote unquote lazy, even though she has this, serious autoimmune disease, let alone now her whole family, now her husband. He was saying, Eric Thomas, he's like, I wasn't like, why me, God? Like, why'd this happen to me? Like, I'm doing all this good in the world. I'm helping people rise up into the best versions of them. Like, I give away so much free stuff. Like, I give away my time. Like, why me? He's like, why not me? What is this teaching me? What is this teaching us? Like now, instead of having that be an excuse and have our family fold into it, we're going to use it as fuel. I'm going to go even harder. I'm going to care and love for her even harder. I'm going to go even harder in my speaking career. I'm going to turn the dial up. I'm going to turn the heat up. Instead of the excuse, he's like, now we have even more results. And he's not talking about money. He's talking about impact. He's talking about happiness in their family. He's talking about they literally moved their family from Detroit because it was too cold in her bones to Southern California. And she's like, it was so powerful. She's like, I just realized I haven't needed to nap in California because it's warmer here and it's whatever. So he was like, I got to go lion mode. I'm not going to fold or make excuses or like I have every excuse in the world. My wife has this sickness. But instead of using that as an excuse, which would be very easy to do, the whole family's like, no, let's rise up from this. And now they have more results. And when I say results, I mean in happiness in their life. And she's working through it and getting through it. But it was really powerful. And it makes me think about this. Like we all have the same excuses that we could use. Most choose to use them. The few that don't, that's who you're seeing getting results.
I'm tired. Ugh, I slept 6 hours last night. Okay, I have a newborn. I'm more tired than anyone, and I still show up. Like you get through it. Like leaders show up. Leaders show up. Like be the person that said he or she that does what he or she said she was going to do long after the emotion you set it in. Do you know what I mean? Like one of my biggest pet peeves is when someone says they're going to do something like, oh, we make a plan. It's been on your calendar. You're planning for it. It's like you're moving all the things around. You're coordinating a babysitter, you're cleaning your house, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're hosting this party. And then one by one, people start dropping off. My dog threw up. Oh my gosh, I didn't sleep as good as I thought or whatever.
Starbucks literally ran out of nitro cold brew.
Yeah, I'm like so bummed because I thought I was gonna like have a shake for lunch and then it spilled and then it took a long time to clean it up.
And I couldn't bounce back from that for like, my whole afternoon. I couldn't work after that.
No, yeah. So it's just really hard to be me.
My cat threw up.
Yeah.
I had to cuddle her. I couldn't go after my dreams. My cat threw up.
Yeah,
I had to take her to the vet.
I hear some of this shit and I'm like, I have been through way harder things than any of these stupid ass excuses and I still show up. Like people think that those are hurdles to stop them. All the hurdles, all the things that come up are testing you. It's like, what kind of friend are you? Are you a woman of integrity? Are you a man of integrity? When you say you're going to do something, are you going to do it? Of course, sometimes there's things that come up, but do you prioritize rescheduling it? Do you prioritize making it right? Do you prioritize preserving friendships? Do you prioritize being the type of person that shows up bigger than their feelings?
Yeah, and I think that it comes back to integrity with your word and with yourself. Like Sandy said, if you say you're going to do something, do you follow through with that? And got to give a shout out to Nick and Megan Unsworth. I remember going to their Life on Fire Abundance event, and time was huge. Like if you say you're going to be somewhere at a certain time, you're in integrity if you're on time or you're early. You're out of integrity if you're late. So if we were late, or if we would literally, no one's perfect, right? We're going to be out of integrity at times. But you come in and you acknowledge that. Say, hey, I'm out of integrity with my word. I know I said we were going to meet at 1:30 and I showed up at 2. I'm out of integrity. But like seek to get back into integrity, acknowledge that, or say, hey, I know I said I was going to do this week and I didn't. I'm out of integrity on that, but here, I will do this by Wednesday or whatever it is.
And I do that all the time. The big part of this, I think, is acknowledgement. Mm-hmm. It's like acknowledging when things go a different way than they were planned. And just being like, man, I didn't see this happening this way. I take ownership of this. This doesn't feel great, but I'm like in a space where I need to move a few things around, and it's just like talking about it. It's just like being transparent about it. But then it's also like, is this a pattern for you? Are you constantly excuses focused or results focused? When I see a pattern of someone constantly excuses, dropping the ball, I'm a victim, but this happened to me, but this happened to me, but this happened to me. Well, guess what? Thoughts become things. You like attracts like. If you keep being that way, if you keep being low vibe, if you keep playing the, oh my God, this happened, now this, now that, guess what? More stuff is going to happen. So it's kind of like taking control of your mind, taking control of your life, and knowing I am where I am because of the choices that I made yesterday. If I want a different future, I got to start showing up different today. If I don't want to show up, if I don't want to do that thing, if I don't this, that, guess what? That's going to affect me tomorrow and 3 months from now and 6 months from now. So it's like, stop with the bullshit. Stop with the excuses. Stop with the victim mentality. You are not the only one going through hard things. You are not the only one that has hurdles and that has financial stress and that like had their living situation change or had their job change or had something really important to them fall through or had a death in the family. We all have all of those things and people still show up regardless of them. So are you going to be the person that shows up and is results focused, or are you going to be the person that backs down in the corner in the cave and accepts that my excuses rule my life and I'm a victim?
I think that's the moral of the story, moral of the show. Like reflecting, asking ourselves, how do I show up? How do I show up in the world? Do I show up with a handful of excuses? Hey guys, look at all these things though that happened to me. Look at all these excuses. Or do you show up with results? Do you show up like you said you would?
I feel like it's so important to think on that. And I have had chapters of my life, seasons of my life where I have been excuses focused. And that's just such a low vibe feeling. And it bleeds into every area of your life and it just doesn't feel good. It's like, I don't want to live here anymore, right? And so the cool thing is we get to decide, we get to make that change. And it may feel a little inauthentic at first to be like, I'm completely making this mental shift and I'm going to fully focus on working towards my goals, working towards being a great friend, working towards being an incredible partner, working towards being a man or woman of integrity, working towards, whatever it is for you, fill in the blank. But you have to make those decisions today and consistently, like that compounding effect, good decision, good decision, good decision, good decision. Let those stack on each other. And then when you're reflecting on your life in the future and you're so happy with where you're at, you can take credit. It's because I made that shift. It's because I made that shift. So I've made the shift. You can make the shift. Just take ownership.
I think I just realized what an excuse is it's you just giving your power away.
Yep.
It's you giving your power of like, I can make something happen to something outside of you, to external circumstances. Like, oh, my cat threw up. I'm giving the power to my cat throwing up and having to take her to the vet and it took hours, whatever. It's you literally giving your power away of like, I'm in control of my destiny, of my day, of my year, of my month, of everything. An excuse is just like, here, I'm going to take the power from within me and I'm going to give it away. I'm powerless now. That's all an excuse is. So let's be the people that show up and get results. Who needed to hear this message today? We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys listening, sharing, tuning in, messaging us on Getting Magnetic. We love this community, and let's be the type of people that show up in the world with results, that show up and do what we said we were going to do.
That's all we got for you folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible.
So remember, you are magnetic.